So we get the public notice
In
statement.
accordance with Chapter 231 PL 1975, the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided as required, specifying the time and location, with such notice as being sent to the Asbury Park Press and the Times of Trenton, posted on the municipal public notice meeting bulletin board, and filed with the township clerk.
Thank you, Danielle. Appreciate that. I'd like to invite everybody for a flag salute. At the end, we'll stand for a moment of silence for those who serve and currently serve our country.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, did everybody bring their chips so we can, ante up? All in.
I'm going for a flush.
I need a full house.
Doesn't want to display the exhibits, we'll see. We'll keep working on it. Actually, let me turn them on. Okay, Chairman Mostyn,
Here.
Ms. Arpaia,
Here.
Mr. Cadigan,
Here.
Mr. Lambros,
Here.
and for the record, Mr. Barthelmess and Mr. Farrar are absent. We do expect Mr. Sinha, assuming he's running just a little bit late, but he's not here at the moment. We do have 4, so we do have a quorum.
Thank you. And we can start with, well, do we have any public comments for any matters that are not on the agenda? Seeing none, we'll move right to approval of our minutes. The first one is December 12th, 2024. Everybody get a moment to read it, go
Yes.
through it?
Oh, yeah.
I make a motion to approve.
Okay, I'll second it.
Chairman Mostyn,
Yes.
Ms. Arpaia,
Yes.
Mr. Cadigan,
Yes.
and Mr. Lambros.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, January 22nd
You're up
minutes
next.
will be carried to the next meeting.
Okay, thank you. All right, no resolutions. We are ready for our first applicant, Mr. Robert Heyer. Come on down.
All right, for the record, sorry, just take a seat right there. For the record, I reviewed notice of joining property owners and affidavit of publication. They are in order, and the board has jurisdiction to hear this matter, as the board does in its normal course. We pre-mark certain exhibits, which I'll read into the record as follows. A1, jurisdictional notice. A2, application, administrative forms. A3, Monmouth County Health Certificate of Compliance dated January 26, 2023. A4, ARC GIS web map dated 4/29/24. A5, aerial image. A6, survey of property prepared by Dominic Bendito dated 4/18/18. And A7, architectural plan set prepared by Salvatore La Ferolita, consisting of 5 sheets dated 5/8/2024. Board has also marked their own exhibits. ZB1 is our engineer's report dated January 20, 2025, and ZB2 our planner's report dated February 12, 2025. The applicant can introduce any other evidence they deem necessary and appropriate for that application. Sir, please raise your right hand. Do you swear affirm the following testimony about to give is the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Please state your name for the record, spelling your last name, sir.
Robert Anthony Heyer, H-Y-E-R.
Okay, Mr. Chairman?
Okay, you want to just go over your application, quick overview for everyone?
600 square foot addition off the back of my house, in plane with my existing structure, which sits on the easterly side within the setback, the side yard setback. It's a full basement underneath the addition. The addition is a great room, an office space, and a bathroom.
One story, right?
Yes, sir.
And we have an existing nonconformity, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So we are looking to put the addition on the back, taking the wood deck down.
Yes, sir. Second story wood deck off the master bedroom.
And Danielle, there you go, perfect. Maybe.
Stop and poker.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, this application really requires one variance. As you board can see, the existing home has a side yard setback deviation of approximately 23 feet where 30 is required. The applicant is building an addition consistent with his east, depending on which side you look at it, east side of the home in line. So while the setback is not getting any greater, more of the home is going to be in the setback, so it's a technical deviation for the side yard setbacks for the new addition, even though the home is already at that existing setback.
Well, the addition actually,
It angles.
it's angled, so.
So we're
that's
probably
why
gonna
it's
go down about 22 feet.
Somewhere around
The
there, yeah.
building's, it tapers
Just
Tapers a
off
little
of
bit.
being
The front of the
perfectly
building is
parallel.
24, back of the building is 23, so if you
And
continue
we're gonna
that,
continue further back.
Yes, sir, with a 6-inch inset.
Okay.
so
So it's a 22, we'll call 22-foot setback.
Correct.
plus or minus.
Yes, because they didn't make the house
You
square.
don't want
Yeah.
them to
Do
come
you have
back-
the
you don't
proposed
want them to come
plan,
back with
Danielle?
2 inches. And also, the plan somehow said garage addition, that
Yeah, that was the initial plan, and it was not.
you're not doing
altered.
garage addition.
No, sir.
Because,
The addition is roughly 600 square front to back with the full basement, single story.
because if you make an addition to the garage, that's another variance.
Yep.
You're not doing that.
No, sir.
And there's no tree clearing required, it's already clear
No,
back
no.
there?
Now, the addition gonna match the existing house?
Yes, sir. Same
A couple-
shiplap on
yeah,
the side.
Yeah, and a couple of little boo-boos in the plans, like the coverage were reported at a .019, it should have said 1.9, instead of my report, just clean the plans when you submit.
Yes, sir.
Matt, anything else you have on this?
No, it's really pretty simple.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. And McKinley, do you have anything else to add?
No, it's just where the existing home is placed, he's continuing the line down, which is the most reasonable place to put the addition. And it's very minor with the encroachment will end up.
I concur.
Motion to approve?
Hold on, wait. We got a couple conditions.
Well, I gotta open it to the public first.
Yeah.
But I like where your head's at.
Moving right along. All right, let's see.
We're getting this done.
Any other questions from the board for Mr. Heyer?
No.
Seeing none, I guess now we could open it up to the public for comment at 7:46. Anybody from the public want to step forward for this application? Seeing none, we will close it. Greg, you got any conditions?
One, that the material for the addition to match the existing home. Also, the couple of ones for Matt's reports, modify the plan title that improperly says garage addition, change the lot coverage, obtain a tree clearing permit if required. And you have Monmouth County Board of Health approval. Doesn't he have that already? Or does he need it again for the addition?
They may give him an exempt, they may say here. So
I'm gonna say-
I'll make conditional approval,
If required.
if required.
Understood. I did provide the letter that was initially given to me.
Was that based on your plans for the addition, though?
That was based on the new septic that I had put in back when it was
Prior
to the addition.
You may have to resubmit, and they may just say
Understood.
you're still good,
They have
knowing
to-
that you put
They have
in.
to look to make sure what you're adding is not a bedroom.
Yep.
If they consider a bedroom,
And I put in a 4-bedroom septic when I did it intentionally in
good.
case that day ever came.
this should be quick.
So the-
Thinking ahead.
Yeah, the field size was
Good.
appropriate.
You should be
for-
fine then.
Great.
Okay, Lloyd.
Motion to approve?
I second that.
You wanna open it? You already did.
Oh, yeah, we
Yep,
did.
yep.
We're good. We're moving right along.
Really good. Mr. Cadigan and Mr. Alfaya. Any further discussion from the board?
No, I think it's pretty straightforward. You got existing nonconformity, you're not really changing anything, I think it's fine.
Those motions were with the conditions Mr. Bello put on record.
Yes.
Chairman Austin?
Yes?
Mr. Alfaya?
Yes.
Mr. Lambros?
Yes.
And Mr. Cadigan?
Yes.
Motion approved or nothing?
All right, Mr. Heyer, go ahead.
You're approved, you'll get a resolution next month, and you could then start, you can already start working on your 2 outside agency approvals, cleaning the plans, getting Board of Health, then we'll have the resolution done, you can apply for building permits, sir.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. Have a great night.
You as well.
Thanks. Okay, this is just, yeah, and this we gotta continue.
This is continued, but
You're welcome to finish over then.
Okay. So I just, I have a feeling it might be better to wait for one board member.
For both of these.
Yes.
I noticed that too.
I mean, that's my suggestion.
Okay, I'm good with that.
Mr. Sinha will be here any minute.
You keep saying that.
No,
Well,
okay.
Okay.
Council? You're here for Earth Anchors, right? I am. What I think we're gonna do is we're gonna move to the last application, which is residential, so we could have 5 board members for the 2 carryover cases rather than have 4, okay?
You know, I'm really excited.
You swore you were number 2, and you're like, yes.
I was, I forget.
Unless Mr. Sinha walks in the next 10
Unless
seconds.
he comes in 10 seconds.
You got about 10 seconds.
9,
We can take a
8.
quick stretch. He's here?
He's here? Yep.
Is he really? Okay.
All right, you're
All
up.
right.
That's
All
right.
right, well, you almost made it.
You almost made it. Okay. I know,
He's
you're
here.
last now.
Oh, no, wait, Eric's, that's not Eric.
Oh, that's not Sinha, sorry. He's as tall as him, but
All right, never
Yeah, he is
mind.
as
never
tall.
mind.
We tried.
We tried. Just a big tease, all right. All right, let's go to the
All
last
right,
one.
we're gonna go to our 4th application. And I'll apologize in advance if I pronounce it wrong, but is it Brescia? Brescia.
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 All right, sir, please take a seat. Thank you. All right, for the record, our views, notice adjoining property owners and affidavit publication, they are in order, and the board has jurisdiction here. This matter, the board does in its normal course with pre-marked certain exhibits, which I'll read into the record as follows. A1 jurisdictional packet, A2 application and application forms, A3 Google Air image, A4 impervious coverage count prepared by Michael Brescia? Brescia, okay. Dated 10/28/24, A5, series of 4 photos of area of proposed structure, A6 proposed building specs sheet prepared by Morton Buildings 3D Studio dated 12/19/22, A7 plan and survey prepared by Michael Baker Inc. Consulting, engineers dated November 22nd, 05, with proposed structure drawn 10/29/24. A8 architectural plans consisting of 3 sheets prepared by Gary Nelson dated 9/28/24. A9 project narrative prepared by Michael Brescia.
You're making progress.
Getting closer. Getting closer. Dated 12/11/24. A10 plan and survey also prepared by Michael Baker Consulting dated 11/22/05. With proposed structure drawn, revised 1/24/25. We've also marked the owner exhibit, ZB1, our engineer's report dated 1/20/25, and ZB2, the planner's review letter dated 2/12/25. And of course, you're allowed to introduce any other evidence you deem necessary or appropriate for your application. Sir, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the following testimony you're about to give is the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Please state your name, spelling your last name, sir.
Michael Brescia, B as in boy, R-E-S-C-I-A.
Mr. Chairman?
Okay. Well, let's go over your application, give us a quick overview and
Okay,
See
thank
what,
you. Hopefully you all read the commentary that I submitted with the application. So I don't have much more to add to it than that. I'm proposing an accessory building, which is a detached garage on our property at the foot of our driveway. Sits back 190 feet off the street before you today because it can be seen from the street if you take a straight view up the driveway.
right.
It can't really be seen once, can I? use
Sure,
that word?
absolutely.
So,
Okay, hang on, it's not gonna pick you up on the microphones.
oh, okay.
You can, use this now.
Oh, it's like a rock concert.
It's,
Yeah, okay.
or karaoke if you
Okay,
like,
thank
either
you.
way.
Okay, so, you know, you can see the corner of my existing garage is right here, so if you just draw your sight lines, you know, you start to get a view of it when you're, 50, 75 feet up the block, and then as you move down the block, there's a bunch of evergreens that we planted along with mature plantings all over the whole property, so it's nicely tucked back there, and I put it past the limits of the driveway, so it's buried in there. I've got foliage all around it on all 4 sides. It's under your square foot requirements, 960 square feet. For my size property, it's got to be under 1,000. And I guess the burning issue of the day is that it's a metal pole building. So I did some wainscoting on it just to make the appearance a little bit more pleasing. I want to match the garage doors and so on to the doors on my home, so that'll be consistent. And that's basically it. I want to clean up my driveway, get all the cars out of there. My wife told me when I retire next year, I'm not allowed to be in the house anymore, so.
So now you need a place to go.
He swore to tell the truth.
Remember, you are under oath, right?
Mr. Chairman, I do have on the record reflect, Mr. Sinha came in while Mr. Brescia started his testimony.
Okay. So technically, can we have Eric?
Yes.
You can still vote?
Yeah, he heard the whole thing. So the question, the height, what is the height of the proposed structure?
The height from the ground to the peak is 17 feet. According to the definition that I found, though, on the Uniform Construction Code site, they define the height as the vertical distance from the grade plane to the average height of the roof surface. So in my case, I've got drew a little sketch here. This is not part of my submission, but I can leave it with you.
Well,
So-
let me mark it.
Sure.
And then why don't you give it to, let me mark it real quick, and then I'll give it to the engineer.
Yeah, but we have
Also-
our own ordinance, that's.
Yeah, even though that's the building
That's
code.
building code.
Oh, I'm sorry,
we
I
have to
thought he was
go by
going from our ordinance. Oh.
Definition of height,
No.
and it
I
measures-
can't find your definition of height.
It's
in
under
ordinances.
definitions, building height.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, and it goes to peak.
So you have a new rule, okay, a different rule. All right, well then, scratch that.
Well, the question I was gonna have, Matt, I mean, you just mentioned UCC, but aren't we going with IBC now?
Either way, it's our own ordinance.
But our ordinance
Yeah.
still,
Well-
but if you're gonna look up a code, at least look up the one that we're currently using.
All right, fair enough. I mean, the point I'm trying to make is the gable end is facing the street. And so if this was turned 90 degrees, you'd see the peak in every view from the street. But when it's turned in this view, I think the intent of using the average height of the roof is that, you know, it's not filling up the whole rectangle, if you will. But, pardon me?
What exhibit are you showing?
Yeah, I'll give it.
The one he hasn't given me yet.
It's gonna be.
Yeah, give it to him.
There you go, sir.
So I'll mark,
But the thing here is from floor.
I'll mark height diagram as the next exhibit, as A10, A11.
Yeah.
So, just to move it forward, you're here for a variance for two reasons, sir. And that-
I see it as one reason, but go ahead.
Yeah, they're combined. So I think I want you to put some more testimony on. You're here because you have a garage that is visible from the street, you're not matching the material from the existing home to the garage. Same thing, you're able to go up to 20 feet if the architectural of your garage matches your house. So if the architectural matches the house, you wouldn't even need a variance at all. So why don't you explain to the board what's your existing material for your house, and what are you proposing on your garage?
Sure.
So that's what you're here for. Are you building a cement structure that's gonna look hideous and commercial, or something else?
Okay, thank you for that.
And I was just gonna ask Danielle to open up A5, so, which she's doing now, so give you
Yeah, so that's my home. It's got horizontal fiber cement siding on it. It's painted. That's actually an old view of my home. It's been since painted a tan color. Are those the photos I gave you?
Yes.
Okay, I guess that is the
Maybe
new
it just
color.
looks funny.
That's the new color. It didn't show up all that well then. In any case, it's horizontal siding. You see where that car is parked in the driveway? That's where the proposed building will go, behind that car. The building is gonna have vertical metal siding and the same roof, which cannot be seen from the street because the gable end faces the street. And it's a 190-foot setback, so it's a pretty good distance to be able to I would argue that it's not that distinguishable whether it's this way or this way.
And what about the garage door, sir?
The garage doors will match the doors I have on my house. I'm gonna use the same color. I did some wainscoting around the base of the building, which kind of lowers the visual appearance of it. When you use a color, like a darker color, it also minimizes the size of a building when you're dealing with architectural things. So it's pretty straightforward. The roof will also match the color of the wainscoting, as will the trim. So it's a nice, clean-looking structure. It's got a 30-year warranty on the coating, so, you know, it's not gonna be something that's gonna rust and be an eyesore. I mean, that's pretty much what it looks like. I have mature plantings on the right side of the building. Danielle, I included some photos of the site. Maybe you could pull that up and give a little context to how I'm tucking it in. I gave one right at the foot of the driveway. You know, it's very consistent with buildings of this type that you see all over our beautiful town. So it would sit, there's mature plantings in the back that will tower over the proposed building. There's blue spruce on the right that will fit along the one edge. And after it's up, I may end up doing another blue spruce on the other side just to flank it, to make it look balanced. We've spent over $150,000 on our property with hardscaping and landscaping over 22 years. So, you know, we're very concerned about appearance, just as you are.
The aerials show an existing shed at the end of your driveway.
Yes.
Is that, obviously, is it to be moved or?
Yeah, I did move it.
It is to be moved. You're keeping it.
I did
just
move it.
Okay.
It's, you can see a pile of stone there where it used to be.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I can't see it in this photo, but
Yeah, very
okay.
good. So if you pull up the survey I submitted,
There was a revised survey that you marked up where the shed has gone to.
yes, sir.
I missed that one.
I
Yes,
think,
sir.
Danielle, you have that on your exhibits? Yeah.
Yeah, I relocated it to the side of my property, and I hid that behind a couple of rows of bushes and so on, so it looks.
And you've already done that, that's already been,
I
yeah,
did that,
okay.
yeah. I did it the same weekend I came down to get the permit, and then I was surprised to learn that I needed the variance. So my intent was to, you know, kind of grade the site and
Sure.
have the builder come in. So I've been at this since October. I've lost a little bit of time, but yeah, you can see from the street, it's on the right side of the property, and I did, you know, I gave it a good offset off the property line, and it's tucked behind a hedgerow. And so I think it's looks like it's in a place where it's meant to be.
Mr. Brusha will get a permit for that.
Yeah, when I pull the permit, I will, for the proposed building, I'll pull it for that. Yep.
So what's the maximum height, Matt, or?
So it's 16 feet if it's consistent architecturally with the house. He's probably close, the way that the height measurement is taken in the town. It's using
Ground elevation.
ground elevation around the building, depending on how it's graded,
Plus a foot.
plus a foot. He's probably close. It's hard to, without knowing the elevation.
Yeah, I wanted to just give it enough headroom, you know, so if I work on one of the cars and I want to put it up in the air, that kind of thing. I don't want to be, I'm only going to do this once, so I wanted to,
You're not coming back for a second floor?
not my intent.
What did you say the dimension was from the street?
Pardon me?
What did you say the dimension was from the front to the street?
The setback?
Yeah,
I wheeled it off at 190 feet. Yep.
it's pretty far
I
back
have a
there.
view of it that I think you put up already. from the
Yeah,
street.
no, you can see
Really,
with the photos, it's a long
set-
driveway.
Set back pretty far.
What kind of siding is on the primary structure? It looks like
It's fiber cement siding, it's painted,
Okay.
yeah.
I mean, to conform with the ordinance, he would only have to face the front side of it, the side that faces the street, right?
Yeah, that's it.
And and most of that is door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So would it be an option for you to consider at least matching the front only of
No,
it?
because it's not a wood frame structure in the traditional sense, like where you have studs on a 16-inch spacing, and then you put your sheathing up, and then you put your siding on top of that. This is a pole barn, so you only have a pole every 8 feet, and then there's purlins that run in between. That's the reason they place the siding in the vertical
You
orientation.
say they give you an option for horizontal?
I suppose you could put plywood on it, and you could do fiber cement siding, but, you know, we're to drive the cost way up to do those kind of things. And quite honestly, I've already painted my house twice since we've lived in it, And this is a coating that's warranted for 30 years, so I'm looking for something that's low maintenance, that I can just go out and, hit with a garden hose in the spring,
And they don't have a coating that's within the same color pattern as the base?
Well, I mean, here's the thing, we did, Sherwin-Williams has like 2,400 colors or something in that color wheel, and my wife picked a nice one, and you get like 5 color choices when you build these metal structures, and they don't have a, what color would you call it, tan, honey, or the house?
Portobello.
Or portobello. They don't make portobello, they make tan, and it doesn't match. So now when you do something that doesn't quite look right, it doesn't look right. So you're better off going with something that's complementary and contrasting. So, I mean, a red barn and millstone, I think fits right in. That's the reason I showed it that way on the rendering. I'm still on the fence with colors, too, but I'm definitely gonna do the doors the same color as the garage, just to tie it all together. The garage has the brown doors as well.
But a paint shop should be able to match the color of your house if you bring them a chip.
It will be, these are powder coated at the factory, so when these guys build these metal buildings, they're pulling stock from standard colors.
Right, I get that.
You can't really, I mean, it would be easier to repaint my primary residence to match the.
Well, I wouldn't be too confident in painting over the powder coating to make
Exactly,
it, for
that's
it to
my
last.
concern. You
I'll be
put
honest with
something
you.
on, and now I'm dealing with a maintenance headache because it's not applied at the factory. So, I mean, these are beautiful structures. They didn't offer the kind of options they offer today with the trim colors and the wainscoting and these kind of things. It's gonna cost me $65,000 to build this, so this is not a cheap building. But if you compare it to a wood frame structure, it's much cheaper.
Yeah.
So I can't
I'll be happy.
justify the cost for a wood frame structure to put my toys and, cars in there.
So it's just a matter of, can you consider the option to match the front with horizontal versus vertical?
That's the reason I'm here for the variance. I'm asking for the variance because I don't want to do that.
I mean, Mr. Chairman, if it means anything, I don't have a problem with what he's proposing. It's 190 feet from the road. There is considerable mature landscaping that's flanks the driveway and the side lot line. I mean, I understand the point of this ordinance is so that taller buildings do not stick out like a sore thumb in these residential neighborhoods.
And if you couldn't see from the road, they wouldn't even need a variance.
Exactly.
This
And
is
there's,
actually behind the house almost.
they're so
the
close to
left
meeting
of
the
it.
height, I honestly don't think you're really gonna notice it driving by, and the purpose of this is the visual landscape of the rural roadscapes. So, I mean, it's the board's decision, but I don't have an issue with it.
Right.
Additional landscaping was an option? You said you're potentially
Yeah, I
gonna
think
plant another
after-
blue
I think after
spruce?
it's up, what I'm likely to do down the one edge that is closest to my neighbor, I'm probably gonna put a couple more evergreens in there, just to screen it off a little bit. It's gonna it breaks up the eye a little bit. You don't want a whole wall where you have nothing around it. So I mean, if anybody's come out and looked at my property, you see that, everything blends in. Nothing really sticks out, like an eyesore.
So no objection if we put in a condition for additional landscaping?
No.
Okay. Yeah, but, well, if you go back to that other picture where you had mentioned that maybe you'll put another blue spruce in there to kind of balance it out.
Yeah,
It'll
I'm
help.
happy to do that.
It'll help shield that a little bit, right?
You're gonna get sworn in if you're gonna talk.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh, here she
A
comes.
whole row of evergreens down
You
the
guys asked for it. Come on, honey.
Ma'am, please raise your right hand. You swear affirm the following testimony about to give is the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Please say your name for the record, spelling your last name, ma'am.
Mary Claire Brescia, Brescia.
I
Thank
don't
you.
know this woman.
Yeah, you can
Grab the
Yeah.
mic.
Sit, you can
You
sit.
can sit.
My
What-
only
what
point
is she-
was
grab the
that,
mic?
grab the mic and walk around, whatever you like.
Yeah, grab the
Just
mic.
sit. That's okay.
where you- Now, my only thing was, Mike loves to put trees in.
Every tree you see on the property has been planted by us.
No, well, I don't know if you can see it here, but our neighbors had put a fence along this line, and you didn't like the fence.
No.
So you put a whole row of evergreens all along the edge that are just, fill that whole thing in. I mean, there's complete privacy there. I mean, you still may like to put a tree in to flank the thing, but I mean, it's,
Yeah, I don't think anyone's questioning seeing it from the side or from the
yeah,
neighbor's
I
property.
mean, you know, it's,
Yeah, but
if
look.
you say you have to do a tree.
I'm gonna do the right thing whether you say it or not. You know, so I think I'll probably end up putting like a little tree to bookend the whole thing
Right.
with the tree that's there, just to balance it. Oh, you come with me now?
Yes, might as well.
You're sitting for the duration now. All right,
So is it kind of, there's a small shed on your property at the back of the driveway now, and you, I guess you plan to replace that
I
with this.
relocated it, sir.
It's already,
Okay, but it'll be kind of in the same location.
The
The front of
new
this
building
section
will,
on the other side
the new
now.
building will be on the same footprint as the old building, but it's a little bit bigger.
Yeah, but the front of the new building will be where the front of the old shed was,
Precisely,
right?
precisely.
So your driveway is approximately 190 feet deep.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna refer to Matt.
Did you-
Anything else?
did you-
This Steve?
Did you ask the pole barn builder what it would cost to, or did you investigate the additional cost for to face the front of the building with the same materials as the home?
I did not ask him, no. No, I negotiated with him pretty hard. You see my friend's back here, he's building one too, so we negotiated for two buildings. We're trying to do them together so that when the builder's here, he can work on both simultaneously.
Does he need a variance?
He does not. You can't see his building.
Making sure.
You can't see his building. He's in better shape than me. So we're trying to do this with some efficiency so that we can.
That's not typically done, right?
What's that?
To change the.
No, it's not typically done.
No,
They
it's-
put these buildings up in 5 days. They go very quickly, so there's not a lot of construction.
They don't give you a whole lot of options with the pole
They don't.
barns. It's
They don't.
limited.
They come out, they drill the poles, they run the purlins, same thing for the roof, they drop roof trusses, they put the roofing, they put the siding, it's very quick, it's 5 days. Not a lot of noise, not a lot of dust, you know, it's done quickly, it's just much different than hand framing or power nailing, where you're out there for months.
I mean, we think this is really consistent with the rural character of our town. We think
Yeah,
it's charming.
I guess I could have done a photo documentary for you. I ride a motorcycle through every road in town here, and they're all over the town. They look beautiful. They look like we live in a rural setting.
You do?
Because we do, yeah. So I didn't want to put something up that wasn't in character with the rural nature of our township or our home. You guys look like you have heartburn over this, is it?
Anybody else have any other questions before we open to the public? I think Matt, McKinley, we've covered everything. Eric, you good?
Good.
Can we go over the use of it? As I mentioned in the past, the zoning officer has requested any accessory structures that are considered by the board, that if they do choose to grant any variances, that they go through the uses and follow the restriction regarding that.
Right, so I'll ask some questions. So what will the use be? Will it be a garage for what?
It'll be a garage for our vehicles, and I have motorcycles, and I'll put some of the motorcycles in there too.
you're not gonna use it for commercial use, you're not gonna
No,
repair cars, you're not
Nope,
for
I'm gonna
third
reti-
parties.
I'm gonna
You're not gonna
retire.
rent it out to third parties to store vehicles.
nope.
That's the questions that they're looking at.
Utility-wise, you're just bringing power?
Yeah, I'm gonna, at some point, I'll pull an electric permit, and I'm just gonna have some fluorescent lights in there to light the area. And I still haven't figured out if I'm gonna heat it or not.
I was say, what are you gonna do in the winter when she kicks you out?
Well, I'm gonna probably heat it, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna
Do gas or
do
electric?
gas or electric. I'm
Okay.
sorting that out yet, so I'll pull that permit when I
Okay.
need to.
No bathroom or plumbing though, right?
No, I'm not gonna put any water out there, no. I already have a hose in the main garage,
There you go.
you know.
You're gonna pour the slab after the building's up?
Yeah, it's the way it's done, sir. They get the building up, they grade the stone inside, then they come back and they put the slab down. So it's pretty quick, and it's actually a good way to build, because it's all protected. It's not like it's out there in the elements when they do the slab.
Okay. All right, we could open it to the public now at 8:14. Anybody from the public want to come up? Didn't think so, but, okay, we'll close it to the public. All right,
Motion to approve.
hold on.
Hold on, so, conditions I have, the board deems the application favorable, petition to obtain a permit for the shed, no commercial use in the garage. Check Matt's report real quick.
I have, before a CO, as-built survey to show where everything they put in is in the right place,
As-built survey
prior to CO.
prior to CO.
Also to depict
As
the
always,
shed.
Yep.
tree clearing if required.
Yep, and Matt's A and B. Okay.
Maximum height 17 feet.
That's a variance, I guess, just to be sure.
Yeah, I agree.
very close.
They're very close, but we should do 17 feet as the variance, just to make sure
Gives
it
you,
covers it.
gives you an extra couple inches.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Chairman.
All right, anybody else want to approve it with the conditions that,
Well, we have a motion on the floor, if he'll modify it, subject to conditions that me and Matt have noted.
Any other board comments?
Is that a yes?
any other board comments? No? I think we're all right. It's,
Is there a second on the motion?
I'll second that.
all right, I guess we can roll call, Danielle.
Ms. Arpaia?
Yes.
Mr. Lambros?
No.
Mr. Sinha?
Yes.
Mr. Cadigan?
Yes.
Chairman Mostyn?
Yes.
All right, so the application's been approved, we'll have a resolution next month, then you can pull for your permits.
Okay, thank you all.
Thank you. Have a great night.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Which one are we doing next?
Continuing our anchor?
Yep.
Okay.
Next one's this one.
Two down, two to go.
No, there wasn't too much to select for you. All right, number 2, Earth Anchoring Suppliers LLC. Come on down.
All right, for the record, this is a carry application for Earth Anchors. Mr. Remy was testifying last. I see you did we already have it?
If I may, Counselor?
Hold on for 1 second. Since the last application, you did provide 2 additional documents. A13, copy of file deed, block 57, lot 13.02, dated 8/2/01, and A14, copy of file deed, block 48.01, lot 4.0, dated 8/2/01. So we're up to date on our technical stuff. Counsel, you may proceed with your application.
As the board's aware, in the interest of brevity, we were seeking 3 specific bulk variances. The most important one, which was troubling to the entire board, was the fact that we were seeking front storage. There was a question brought up between various board members and myself, of the owner, who's not present here today, Mr. Net, the representative from Earth Anchoring, about whether Road 526 was an abandoned road, whether or not we would should make an application, because quite clearly, as the documents show, it kind of ends, right? Fortunately, after a little bit of digging, the deed that we presented isn't what's of importance. What's of importance is the attachment to that deed, which attaches a September 1, 1999 resolution abandoning 526 and leaving to the surrounding property owners, which would be my client, who was previously present, Mr. Musgrave, the owner of 19 Trenton Lakewood LLC, and the abutting neighbor, that property equally and with an easement for utilities, which is as expected. So I would make the contention before the board today that as now the storage is not the front, that the necessity for a bulk variance requesting frontal storage wouldn't be necessary. So the question then becomes, as was presented in December, one, whether or not it would be appropriate to saw down to the necessary height of the fence, which was, I believe, presented by Councilor Vella here last time in December. Or, as Mr. Nett would testify, I think it's probably good to swear him in now, if we can, briefly.
Before we do that,
Of course.
Matt, have you looked at these deeds? I mean, I just saw them for 2 seconds, and
What are we talking about?
the vacation of 526,
I have not seen that document.
it says, the Millstone Township Committee by resolution dated 99 requests Monmouth County Board of Trustees to take all action necessary in order to transfer jurisdiction in the abandoned portion of count 526 to the township. And then it goes on, further, relinquish all jurisdiction and responsibility for the construction, reconstruction, repair, and maintenance thereof to the township of Millstone, in which the section of count 526 is situated. That is, this does not say, so it's the town's property.
It seems contradictory if we look at paragraph 2.
Which
where it
paragraph-
says,
which paragraph
of the
2?
resolution vacating a portion of County Road 526 in the township. This would be what was after Schedule B, where it indicates, and the county for the jurisdiction of Portion Road,
Right.
be transferred to township, which will thereafter vacate this unused roadway to adjacent property owners.
Well, was that done? It's a two-step process. The county gives to the town and says, hey, town, give it to the people. We know step 1 was done, was step 2 done?
As a representative of, and counsel for 19 Trenton Lakewood Road, I can tell you right now, he owned the property, and I have no deed from the township nor transactional that indicates the fact that he gained this additional parcel.
So it's the town's road.
It's still the town's property. I don't necessarily think it should be considered a road for the purpose.
But your survey goes like, you own it. That's what your survey shows.
Well, Mr. Remy,
Yes.
you've been previously
Yeah, there we
sworn. He's the engineer. I'm going to drag him up. Do you have that road that was vacated by the county, given to the township, on your survey as being property owned by the property owner?
Yes, we do. If you
Why?
can bring up the.
That's the question.
The site plan or the survey, we can show you, because I'm trying to bring the deed up on my iPad, but, yeah.
If you, I got copies here that if you want to look, if you need to look.
I think that one, I think that's the right one.
And I'm not saying the township didn't do it, I just don't see any evidence of it.
Yeah, so in looking at the survey, once it comes up, you can see that I don't know what exhibit number you have marked, but this is the deed for, let's see.
Is it
what
the
lot?
Grasso or Hung?
This is for lot 1302, block 57, so this would be the subject property. I think on page 3, it's titled Schedule B of that, you can kind of see where they call out Monmouth County Route 526, and it's got this kind of rectangular shape that flares out towards Millstone Road.
Yes.
Once the survey comes out.
Once it gets,
What's the point of that?
did you see these, Matt?
I have not seen them, but
Danielle emailed them about 6 p.m.
again,
tonight.
if it's a county right of way, if it gets vacated, why would it go to the township? That makes no sense.
Maybe they got it from the township.
No.
That's what I didn't write the resolution.
I did not, I haven't seen that, so.
4, 7, or
9,
9?
I think would be fine.
Unless the county has a policy of only vacating to the municipality then transferring it to the residential property owners. I don't know if that's true or not.
Again,
happen.
it makes no sense to give that to the township.
I don't know.
I mean, as the applicant, that's the way I read the resolution.
That could be a
Is that
typo.
It's
they're the ones, yeah.
It's
they-
a two-step process.
Yeah,
I
that's
agree
the
with
way
you.
I read it.
I agree with you, I just don't know if the town did it.
This is still loading, but you can see the shape that I'm talking about here. The property line, and again, once this fully loads, it'll be easier to see. The property line is the darker line that's on the outside edge. This is the portion that's shown in the deed.
To the deed that's owned by,
Schedule B.
that's owned by the township.
Right. But it's showing up for the surveyor as part of the subject property itself.
Yeah.
The surveyor has included it within this particular block of lot. Now, there it is.
Did the surveyor go off a title report? Did he?
It's my understanding he did.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, that's.
This road used to go like this.
Yeah, you can see it
County put
historically.
it there and they vacated this.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he shows here, again, it might be hard to see, but he shows the outbound property line by deed. And then this is the piece of the subject, or the portion that's shown on the deed is within here, so this piece. So it's within the property line as he has marked on the survey, which per the survey came from deed.
Hold on. I don't.
And the interesting thing to note about these particular two exhibits actually, but the map that was prepared by Crest Engineering, one of their surveyors, titles this as a sketch of area conveyed to lot 1302, block 57. So there'd be some indication of conveyance there. But I don't, there's not really much other information than that.
Here's the street right here.
This was the old monuments here too.
Right.
So street.
I mean, here's my feeling, at least at this juncture. I'm looking at the survey. Survey doesn't reference, in any of the surveyor's note, doesn't reference any deeds that he relied on or any deed from the township. I mean, absent other evidence, and I don't want to belabor this point here because we don't have it. At least at this point, what the surveyor put is what the surveyor put, but there's nothing before me as the attorney for the board that tells me that the town ever conveyed this. They may have, but there's nothing before us here. So I think the board, at least at this point, should, we may not finish tonight, or you may carry it, if that's the only issue, whether you need a variance. There's a lot of other issues here, that I think maybe we should hit those issues and deal with you still have a lot of issues about outdoor storage that maybe we should address, and we can come back to this. But whether you need a variance for a front yard setback, and whether your lot area is completely wrong because you're alleging you own property that's owned by the town, I can't speak, I don't know the answer to that. So I don't want us to belabor that point when no one here could, you're not the surveyor, you relied on something, what you provided us, clearly Mr. Pape handled this on behalf of the, looks like, I presume, on both property owners.
There's also a matter of whether we need a site plan with this application.
That's why I said, let's move to,
Yeah.
there's a
Yeah,
lot
we
more
can-
issues here
We can come back, I think we come back.
to
There's
get
been-
back
there's
get back
been
to this issue
so
and
many
getting bogged down of
changes.
something we know we can't answer tonight.
Right.
I think that's probably best, if we can move to all the other issues.
Well, with respect to the other issues that were kind of left open when we broke last time, The issue, obviously, we're talking about the height's too high. So the reality is, from our position, we can either literally cut it down. There's a proposal from Earth Anchoring, whether, if that's simply an aesthetic issue, they'd be happy to put up trees or anything else, which could, where the tree line, is that what you propose?
Correct.
So either way, that can be remedied, whether it's an issue of taking down the fence to the proper amount, which I believe was 6 feet, or obscuring it. The question which was open and kind of openly debated was the issue of the enclosure, which was the question of whether or not, because of the nature of the storage, we're talking about significant metal piles, right?
And right now, the fencing's 8 feet, correct?
Correct, yes. The metal, there's a question, not only aesthetically, how would it look from the outside, but a safety issue with respect to that compliance. From what I understand, but the 3 violations which triggered this application for these bulk variances were was the frontal storage and those 2 violations. We would contend that with respect to the height, we can remedy that quite easily, and that there is ample reason to have the enclosure be smaller than it is, because it's pretty much straight through, if we recall. But obviously, we're here to answer any additional questions. I will note, I think the owner, he testified for about 30, 40 minutes. He's not available tonight, so there's a necessity to bring him back. Quite clearly, I'd ask him to continue.
Okay, well, there are, maybe Mr. Remy could go over the site plan, because I think we need a better handle of the storage outside. We have we have 2 ordinances regarding storing items outside. Maybe we could go through each, why don't you give an overview back to the board, showing where it's being stored, what's being stored there, what's the height of the items being stored there, and then we could go through the ordinance regarding outdoor storage and where you're violating even more than is proposed. I mean, I don't think you're allowed to have storage within 75 feet of a property line. How, are you supposed to have landscaping surrounding it?
If I can hop in really quickly, everything you're saying is true, but they do predate that outdoor storage ordinance. So
When you say they predate it,
So
it's all illegal.
it's been there, our outdoor storage ordinance that we're referring to, where you can't be next to residences, you have to be 75 feet back from the property line. That was enacted April of 2024. Their original violation was, what is this? June of 2023. Their outside storage has been there. It's not in conformance with our current ordinance. When they had the outdoor storage there, the only thing that they were in violation of at the time was storage in the front yard and the height of the fence. Because of this new ordinance, there's quite a few more things that put their existing storage into non-conformance.
But what they were doing violates the ordinance in 2023. They've
Yes.
never been in compliance with our ordinance.
With the
And
front
they have
yard
no-
and the height.
Right?
Yeah.
So what protection do they have for the new ordinance? They've always been in violation.
Right, they've always been in violation of.
So they can't get protection that we change the ordinance if they're in violation.
But they weren't in violation of the setback requirements for outdoor storage in 2023. They are now. So I don't know, I don't actually know what the implications of that, but it did change since this has come to the
When
council.
was this application filed?
Right after the violation.
2023.
What?
9/20/23, it was incomplete, and finally,
When was it deemed complete?
I'll take it down.
Violation was issued in September 5th, so this came after,
Of what year?
23.
23, so the ordinance was adopted in April 24. I'm not saying they don't have issues, but we did make outdoor storage quite a bit more prohibitive a year ago.
So why don't you go over what you're proposing again, what you're doing, and so the board could get an idea, because it's also, and get to the point of, this is a huge site, and The only reason why you're creating, the variances are being created is because the property owner won't let you store stuff where he wants to store his own stuff. I mean, that's at the end of the day what the real story is, right?
But, which is why I think this led to, is this a side yard or is this a front yard?
Well,
Sure.
hey Danielle, I have a quick question.
But
Do you
still an
have,
8-foot fence.
would you want to go over the site plan first?
Yeah, sure,
Before
I
I
can go
ask
over
to
the
switch
site.
to the aerial?
Just to close out the question, July of 2024 was complete.
Thank you.
So if we could zoom out just a little bit so we can see Millstone Road. So the entire property is about 257,000 square feet, right? And it sits along Millstone Road, this potential portion of vacated Trenton Lakewood Road, with the building kind of facing this vacated street. The building is located, you know, kind of at the northeast corner of the site. A fence was constructed, I believe the fence is it 6 foot?
8 foot.
8 foot.
8 foot.
That's correct. Towards the front of the building, towards the front right side of the property, if you want to call it as such, which is indicated kind of in red on here, it might be hard to see. This encompasses the area next to where Earth Anchoring leases space from the owner of the property. So Earth Anchoring has a small portion of the building on the right-hand side of the building. They have some storage just to the right side of the building. They can't go much further behind because the septic system is located kind of in this area here. So they have some materials stored, you know, in this front right corner of the building, in the front of the property. The parking lot sits out in the front of the building. This is to the right side of the parking lot. Times that I've been out there, the material has been stored below the height of the fence, so the materials have not been stacked more than that 8 foot high. It's a wooden board-on-board type fence. It is solid. There's some access from the parking lot. There's a small gate here towards the front as well so that they can access and bring materials in and out.
Anybody have any questions on the site plan right now? With the survey?
Well, there was never a site plan applied for.
Yeah, we need a site plan,
There
right?
should be a
So-
site plan that should address all the uses, all the storage. There's some encroachment on the neighbor's property.
So that's what I'm looking
All
at on
sorts
the
of-
aerial.
That-
And
that
then we
was
gotta
part of-
go over
part of the
impervious
violation.
coverage.
When I was out there last time, which was right before the first planning board meeting, which I guess was in December, right? The surveyor has the rear property lines marked, and when I was out there was no material stored beyond where the surveyor had flags located for the property lines.
But this is not your material, this is the whole property.
No, it's the
in the
entire
back.
property. I'm talking about the use that Shore Systems has. They have a storage yard with some heavy equipment towards the rear of the property. You can kind of see the rear property line back off to this side.
And the trucks, as Mr. Musgrave
Yeah,
testified
there's-
last time.
It's not really construction materials, it's heavy equipment, trucks, you know, machinery and things like that. And like I said, when I was out there, I walked the property with Mr. Musgrave, and the surveyor did have flags along the rear property line, and there was nothing parked behind where those flags were situated. I know the aerial photograph that I think was in one of the exhibits kind of looks like it does, but I think that property line is off when I looked at it. I think there was some minor discussion on that at the prior meeting.
Yeah,
That'd be off quite a lot,
quite a lot.
when you look at the aerial. Not that it has anything to do with our
Yeah,
applicant,
it's
but
sometimes hard to tell from the aerial where exactly the property line sits versus.
I think it's pretty clear.
Yeah, I do think part of the issue, though, is the violation required you guys to submit a site plan. And even though we understand that that's not your client, that it's the owner who might have some issues with some encroachment.
Right.
I think that's part of the whole package, though, that the board needs to review. And that was something that was in the original violation, the site plan requirement.
And that was not in the packet submitted?
It was, the application was for a bulk variance.
Yeah, the violation that's.
So as a
marked.
result, you're saying as a result of remedying the violation, not in compliance with the variance? Or rather forgive me, reverse. Yeah.
You are correct.
Sorry, forgive me, it's a long time.
You know. And Mr. Remy, you did look at exhibits A6 and A6 that was submitted by the applicant, which shows the material exceeding the height of the 8-foot fence, correct? So it
Yeah,
is,
I've seen this photo, I'm not sure when this photo was dated, you can see the material up, but I believe that's been remedied, right?
Yes, sir.
It's kind of part of this whole discussion and application.
It's also elevated from that. There's also an elevation.
Yeah, there's a little bit of elevation rise, but I mean, honestly, you can clearly see the materials in
Yeah, of
this
course.
particular photo. Again, I don't know when this was taken, above the fence line, but, you know, when I was out there before the meeting in December, there was no material stacked above the fence, and I drove by there today on my way here, and there was nothing visible from the road.
I mean, that's a better view.
That's a better view, that really
It's-
shows
It's
it.
Yeah.
all pretty flush.
Right.
If anything is sticking over, it's barely.
Hang on.
What's
Put
that?
you on record, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
We can put you on record.
Oh, gotta get it.
sir, you previously been sworn, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Please state your name for the record, spelling your last name, sir.
Kevin Knecht, K-N-E-C-H-T.
Okay, you previously been sworn, please advise you're still under oath.
Yes, sir. I was just saying that this is a better image. The image from the abandoned road, I guess, is an elevated road about 4 feet above where the fence is. So standing there is 6 foot tall, being 4 foot above the grade of the property. You're looking essentially down into the fence, even though it's 8 foot tall. So this view, where it's more of a, you know, flush, straight on view, you can see that, you know, really the materials aren't above the fence at this point.
Just a quick question on your double gate there. Is that also solid? I mean, the gate's open right now. so-
No, sir, that's chain link fence.
It is chain link
Yes,
just to
sir.
the gate, okay. I see a swing in the gate on the right-hand side, but I can't tell if it's.
One swings
flat.
in, one swings out. Yes, sir, they're chain link.
Okay.
Well,
Well, I'm gonna, go ahead, Greg.
I don't know how I mean, the violations are fence exceeding 4 foot maximum height for front yard areas must be 50% open. Site plan is required and no product storage in the front yard. Those are the violations as related in A3 dated inspected 4/21/2023, and they're supposed to be abated by 9/1/2023. It's now 2025. Nothing's been abated, but we're sitting here today, and I understand that at the 12th hour, we get a deed saying the county vacated the road to the township, but no evidence that the township vacated the road to the residents. Without that evidence, it's a municipal road, or it's a road's a road, that's owned by the town, until there's a resolution vacating that and dedicating half of it to one property owner, dedicating it to the other property owner. That may have been done. And if that's been done, I think it's fair to say that you probably 2 out of the 3 deviations may go away, but you still need a site plan. You still have a height on a fence, whether it's in the front yard or side yard.
4 feet would still be the limit.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it's 4 feet on the, no, because if it's not a front.
I'm sorry, 6 feet.
So
would be
yeah,
the
it'd be
limit.
6
Yeah.
foot instead of 8, so you
Yeah.
still have a height
So you still have
requirement,
height,
but it's in the front yard, it's gotta be 50% open, so that's a bigger deal. I just don't know, where do we go without that information, Mr. Chair? I don't
Danielle,
know,
can you
I
go
don't know
back to
how do you
page
make an
3?
informed decision.
Page 3
Yeah.
of this.
Mr. Connect, since we've been here last, did you start looking at other properties?
I am not. I'm not the owner of the
Okay.
company.
No, to relocate your business.
It's not my business.
No, it's not. So
No, I'm an
Earth
employee.
Anchoring? Oh, you're just employee
Yes,
of
sir.
Earth
Yes,
Anchoring,
sir.
all right.
Year by year.
The owner,
Obviously, it was communicated.
Yeah, okay.
the owner pays me to run his business. The owner, I guess the 2 investors, the owner and the investor, have been looking for the past few years, and they continue to look.
It's definitely an interesting scenario here that unfortunately you guys are put in based on, and even if you're looking at this aerial here, you could see how much of that area to, whether you want to call it the south or west of the property, was previously encroached upon, whether that equipment's all there or not, that it was cleared and the equipment's there, so could potentially become an issue for the adjacent property owner as well. So,
And
Well,
we
we-
acknowledge that there probably is some, to Mr. Remy's point, there probably is some being off with some of the parcel lines, but some of, even what your environmental specialist submitted, it looks considerably off. So that's, I think, that's part of the concern.
so we need a site plan, right? Then we gotta start discussing impervious coverage.
Oh, keep on talking, I'm sorry.
I think at some point we'll address the.
So even the storage that you have there now, even, and it's concealed by the fence, the 8-foot tall fence. I mean, your storage, is it maxed out?
I believe the best way to put it is, I mean, as the images show, not really, they don't show, but we kind of spread things out. We could condense everything, and the rows that you see of material, you know, they're not as deep. We could bring them out and condense it.
They'll get taller, right?
Not necessarily. They would just, you know, if this is the fence line, we'd bring them out more as opposed to up more. So we could.
So double row, stack it.
Correct. Essentially, when we put that fence in, we took our really deep rows and brought them in and doubled them up. So we just kind of spread it out more, essentially. I mean, we have had some growth, we have had some additional material, but I wouldn't say we're maxed out.
In indoor storage, I think that's a fair statement, so.
Indoor,
I think it's
yeah.
worth conceding it. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and make, you know, that being said, I think the key piece is it a front, if it's frontal storage, I conceded last time. If it's frontal storage, I can appreciate the board's position, that there's concerns, we don't check the boxes, even if we have 17 experts in it, and the city planner. I got it. That being said, our contention is it's not. I think the resolution clearly shows there was an intention of it. Our surveyor reflected the fact that this wasn't an active road. I can appreciate that the board wants something more solidified than a resolution where there seems to be a two-step process of conveyance.
Well, I'm gonna cut you off.
Okay, okay, go ahead.
Because it took me 35 seconds to figure out that there is a deed in the county from Millstone to block 57, lot 13.02, transferring that property for $1. So there is a file deed dated 8/30/2001, probably almost 30 days after the county did it.
Only for $1?
Yes.
Very
What a
generous.
bargain.
It got missed.
What?
I said it got missed.
Yeah, so
So it is,
I assume there's a deed for the other one, that
so
it,
there's no road right away there.
it doesn't look, without looking at, you know, I'm on my iPhone here and figuring it out. I mean, I think someone doing their homework would I think the board would probably make the ultimate determination that that is not owned by the county nor the town, is owned by the applicant. Whether that makes that a front yard or not, I would leave that to our professional planner and engineer. But that's at least from my gleaming of it. It's not in the record, it's just from my phone.
If it is in fact split between the two and the other half of that road is not still a township right-of-way.
Well, I assume there's
Oh,
another
I
deed
agree,
to the
yeah.
other property, I
I'm
mean, it
sure
just
there's-
makes sense.
I'm sure that's how it's usually happened, they split it in half and give it to either side of the property
This
owners.
is probably another deed, so.
There's probably another one, so it would not make Trenton Lakewood Road, that would not be a frontage anymore, because it's private property.
Do we want a site plan, to come back with a site plan to address the improvements to this property?
And that's from 19 Lakewood, correct? Not my client. That would be from
19, yeah,
Trenton Lakewood
your
LLC.
property owner.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
So I gotta go to Adam.
your address is 19 Trenton too, right?
That's the address, but the LLC that owns it, which Mr. Musgrave is here,
But he put the outdoor storage there.
he put the outdoor storage
So it's his site plan on behalf of the owner.
there. Go to Adam.
So who are we putting the height variance on?
Well,
Going
the height
back to you
variance is
guys.
him, but I do think, assuming we have both those deeds, I don't think it's a front yard anymore. I think they just need a variance 6
Variance
feet
for the
instead of 8
8-foot
feet.
fence in the front.
Variance for height
Now, there's
and-
no limitation to storage, outdoor storage and size?
So, when the violation was cited for these guys, and when they submitted the original application in the fall of 2003, the fall of 2023, the only outdoor storage requirements for industrial and business and commercial zones were that it can't be in the front yard, and then there's the height requirement, the fence height requirements. In April of last year, the township committee adopted a much more intense requirements for outdoor storage that controls it a lot more, and I think part of the reason was there really wasn't control and it was getting out of control. So I believe they do not fall under that ordinance because they applied before that ordinance was adopted. So it's a little, there's a lot more control now than there was then.
So in essence, if you just went for a 6-foot fence, there wouldn't even be a discussion sitting here right now.
Nick said they needed a site plan, and I think the reason for that was the expansion of outdoor storage. But that would, the site plan would be planning board jurisdiction since it's permitted essentially.
Yeah. It seems like it'd be
permitted
easy if you
use.
just did a 6-foot fence.
Yes.
You can get a chainsaw. I mean, I'd
Somebody said
Just
it last
sounds-
time.
sounds easier.
I think, I mean, we could put trees up, we could hide it, whatever, but if 8 foot is just an absolute no-go, no matter what we do, then I guess I'd take a chainsaw to it.
It seems like the easiest.
Well,
It's the
you
path
gotta
of least
take it to,
resistance.
well, yes, but I also look at it from a safety perspective as well, and concealing, if we're gonna have a 6-foot fence, and we have 8 foot high of material, then it kinda looks worse.
Yeah, I agree.
Definitely, definitely.
So if everything's even with the
Yeah.
fence, if we got to the point where we're gonna approve the variance for the,
I'm gonna stop everybody.
we're kicking it to the planning board?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here's my feeling. And we just had a little sidebar with the plan. I think it's very clear from the record that, at least from my own separate investigation, that the road in front has been dedicated and vacated. This is a commercial property. It's permitted use in the zone. The applicant is here under violations for height of a fence, front yard setback. Potentially could have been a use variance, maybe, okay? And that's how it gets the jurisdiction here because of that road. Knowing that the road is not a road anymore, and our planners indicated that if it's not a road, based on what we're saying, that it would not be a front yard setback variance. What are we left with? We're left with a commercial site that needs a site plan approval under a violation, by a violation. It's permitted use. While the law has changed with respect to time of decision as compared to time of application, I don't know if that's so relevant. It seems that they filed an application before the new ordinance came into place, so they're probably protected under time of application doctrine. However, at the end of the day, we're a board of limited jurisdiction. This board only deals with residential properties, use variances, height variances, FAR variances, density variances. We do not handle commercial site plans with permitted use on it. That is the burden of the planning board. I'm sitting here as the board attorney after talking to our illustrious planner saying, what jurisdiction do we have to grant leave to this applicant? Can't find it. We don't have jurisdiction. Can't say yes. Can't say no. Because it's not our job. What I would do is, what I would ask the board and council, I assume council you agree with me?
I do.
Okay. There is, we can't transfer the application to the planning board because they didn't hear any of this testimony. It's not as simple transferring it to a special civil or law division judge. And you know,
Special civil up, yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna recommend the board make a motion to make a motion to dismiss the application without prejudice, on the determination that this application is in commercial use, that, applicant is not applying for use variance, is not applying for use variance, FAR, density, simple residential bulk variances, and that we have no jurisdiction to hear this application. We highly we recommend that you are still in violation as a result of failure to obtain a site plan which should have been filed in front of the planning board. So I'd ask to dismiss this application under those guidelines. We don't have any jurisdiction on this matter, and I would draft a resolution accordingly. Does the board have any questions of what I just said?
No.
No, but when he goes to the planning board, he should have those documents that you just looked up, right?
It would behoove you
Yeah.
to have
I would
a site
highly
plan.
recommend-
Yeah, I'll circle back.
Yeah, so what you're gonna have to do is talk to the property owner.
Yeah.
Because that while you may hacksaw this defense, this 8 to 6, that only gets you partial relief.
Yeah.
The site plan, may be a deviation that you talk to code enforcement and say, I've met with the 6 foot, please reissue the site plan against the property owner. You understand, counsel?
I do as I don't open my mouth and create a conflict of interest between two clients.
So, if no other questions, I'd ask the board to make a motion based on what I put into the record.
To dismiss without prejudice.
I make a
Yes.
motion to dismiss without prejudice.
I'll second it.
Okay, thank you. Danielle?
Chairman Mostyn?
Yes.
Ms. Repaya?
Yes.
Mr. Cadigan?
Yes.
Mr. Lambros?
Yes.
Mr. Sinha?
Yes.
Application dismissed without prejudice.
Fun stuff. Good luck.
Thank you guys, have a great night.
Thank you, you too.
Yeah, counsel, you just do a lot of block search, it'll pop it up and you'll find the Millstone one.
The whole time.
Have fun at the planning board.
They were just a.
Do we need a break or are we just gonna keep rolling? We're good?
It's up to you guys, it's 9 o'clock.
No, I'm good. Conscientious of everybody else.
Everybody good
For the next one, or you wanna?
That's why, look, I think we both had the epiphany at the same time, like,
Because I think they applied for just a bulk variance,
They
which
only
would be
apply for
here.
both.
So, but
That's all
they,
they did.
but they missed that they were
why
required
it
to get a
came
site plan. And they-
yeah, but we don't do bulk variances on commercial sites that are permitted use.
Good for the next one?
Yeah.
Or you wanna need a break?
No. Show me.
Seen it.
Yeah.
I think
roll
that,
right to the next
I agree that it doesn't say that
They
anywhere,
shut
I
up.
think that's,
Yeah.
yep, that's my reason. Anyways,
But if you don't apply for a site plan, how else could
Is
you
this,
explain
Well,
He
they-
needs a site plan, and
Site plan.
he's got more issues than a
But
magazine
that's the
rack,
reason
so.
for not doing the site plan.
There's,
Yeah.
there's a lot of things going on there. He just got sucked into it, but. All right, moving right along, Mr. Lickman, come on down for your, what, third, fourth time? What are we up to this time?
All right.
5,
For the record,
5.
finally, I've reviewed notice of joining property owners and affidavit publication. They are in order, and the board has jurisdiction to hear this matter.
Thank you.
As the board recalls at the last meeting, we did a waiver hearing. We granted a waiver for the submission of the wetlands. And for the record again, we also gave them a waiver for submitting a survey reflecting current conditions and location of wetlands. So now we're here for the meat on the bone on the application. For the record, the board does normal course. I probably read this the last time here, but I'll read them again. We're gonna mark for the record the following information: A1 jurisdictional notice, A2 application administrative forms, A3 project narrative consisting of 2 pages by Dan Lichman dated 6/18/24, A4 zoning denial of business license dated 1/8/20, A5 notice of violation 11/8/23, A6 notice of violation 9/5/24, A7 plan of survey prepared by Harris Surveying dated 7/1/19, A8 township zoning map, key map, and tax map indicating site location, 3 sheets, A9 plan with overlay and zoning schedule, 2 sheets. We've also marked our own exhibits, our engineer's report 8/20/2024, and our planner's report at ZB2, dated 10/9/2024. Mr. Lichman, I'm going to re-swear you in, since we just did the waiver hearing. Sir, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the following testimony about to give the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Please state your name for the record, spelling your last name.
Dan Lichtman, Lichtman.
Okay, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, Mr. Rickman, let's go over your,
And for the record, he is applying for a use variance, which we have jurisdiction.
where you want to start? You want to start with your notice of violations, or you want to just start with an overview of your applicant?
Whatever's good for you guys.
Anybody have a preference? Let's go with an overview.
Okay. So it's a property, it's a 9.5 acre property. We have been running, or I have been running a electrical contracting business out of it for 5 years now. The electrical contracting company is 3 office employees and 9 field technicians. We work on site at customer locations, whether it be commercial customers or residential customers, some locally, some dispersed across the state. Office hours are 8:30 to 4:30. Field crews get to the office about somewhere around sunup and leave about 4 o'clock. There are 2 buildings on the property. Building 1 is a single-story house with a walkout basement. No structural changes have been made to that building. Building 2 is an 8,000 square foot chicken coop with a concrete floor. There's also, Matt, you had asked, there's a grain chute coming out of the middle of the chicken coop. It looks kind of like a roof access point.
I said this?
Yeah, it was in your report, I think, or what you had asked about it.
Okay.
Anyway, there's not a roof access. There is a grain chute in the middle of the building. We've made no structural changes to that building either. Does that give you an overview?
All right, so you got 9.5 acres. Is this residential or commercial?
It's the zoning is rural preservation in the back, 5 acres. And are you?
R80.
80 or 130, that's what we typically ask.
R80 in the front.
The building
4.5
was a
acres.
chicken coop, or what was the building used for before?
The building was originally a chicken coop. The last use was, a guy was making, was doing welding work and making prefab concrete products in it.
Are you using the entire 8,000 square feet for your business?
We're using about 6,000 square feet for the business.
When you say you're using for your business, you've got offices, you have equipment storage, what's in the 6,000 square feet?
In the 6,000 square feet is material storage and equipment, like tools.
Where are your offices?
The offices are in the house. That's the 3 employees.
You have 3 employees in the building, the house?
Does anybody live there?
In the house. I'm sorry?
Does anybody live in the house?
No.
So it's an office building?
Office building.
Okay.
So it's no longer a residential.
Correct. I live on the other side of the power lines.
So no one lives on the property.
Correct.
Who owned the property when the welder was there and the concrete fabricator?
I can look it up.
Yeah, it's the owners before us. I don't recall their names, I'm sorry.
When did you purchase the property?
We purchased about 5 years ago.
It's not a farm anymore, is it?
We tried blueberries very unsuccessfully. We're trying to figure out what to do next.
Is it considered a farm in the town's books, or?
It's not farmland assessed.
It's not farm assessed?
No.
Are you the only company that uses this building, or you have other?
No, we're the only
You're the
company.
only one company.
Is there heat and water in the building?
There is water.
Heat and plumbing?
There is water. There's just a spigot. There's no plumbing.
In the old chicken coop, the house, what used to be the house has heat and plumbing.
Yeah,
right?
the house is
Yeah.
a house. It
Yeah.
has a kitchen, the wolf stove is still there.
But the chicken coop does not.
The
The old
chicken-
chicken coop does not.
The old chicken coop has a spigot, but nothing else. And it has electric.
So the 8,000 square foot accessory structure is just electric and the water spigot.
And the water spigot.
And it's mainly used, 6,000 square feet of it is used for storage of materials
Yes, for the
and
business.
equipment.
Yes. And I don't know if it matters to you, but the other 2,000 square feet I use for storage for farm equipment from my property on the other side of the power lines. They're about an eighth of a mile away from each other.
Has the chicken coop building been altered in any way, or is it exactly as when you purchased, just now with interior storage?
Both buildings are identical to their purchase, when they were purchased.
So when
And-
you purchased this, you said about 5 years ago?
Yes.
Did anybody advise you that this was a residential property and you could not operate a commercial business on a residential?
I was advised that I should blend in like all the other contractors in the neighborhood.
But you submitted a document dated January 2020 where you applied for a business license.
Correct.
And you were denied. And regardless of that denial, you ignored it and continued to operate the house as a business and the chicken coop as a business, correct?
Because I was told that I should stop trying to apply and I should just lay low, and that's the way Millstone worked.
Well, that's not the case.
Violation number 1 came when? Was that it?
This is when he applied saying, I want to use this property as a business. He's told no. And then, and according to testimony, someone said, just ignore it and be quiet and no one will catch you.
Mr. Chairman, first violation was November 2023.
Okay, thank you. That's this one I have in front of me, okay.
Yeah, that was the first one.
And then somewhere in
24.
2024, you then started adding impervious coverage. Is that accurate?
No, it was done before 23.
It was done at the time we moved in.
So after you move in, you then
We
what?
we put there was a half-baked like a driveway back to the back of the building, and we put gravel down on it to make it more reliable.
What year was this? 2020, 19?
I think it was 19.
So 2019, you paved almost half an acre of this property.
We didn't pave half an, I don't believe it was half an acre, but
Gravel,
I don't believe it was a half
milled
an acre.
asphalt is considered paved.
No, I know, but I don't believe it was a half an acre, but.
And what is that used for now? Parking for your employees?
It's the driveway get to the back of the building.
There are a lot of stuff in the back of the building on one of your aerials. What are those things?
Pallets mostly, but some scrap metal that
How many cars or trucks do you park there?
we park 4 trucks. It's 1 pickup truck and 4 vans. Or, 1 pickup truck and 3 vans, and then our employees' cars during the day.
You never did any stormwater management for the additional stormwater runoff that you
Correct.
could flood your neighbor. You
It-
do know that.
It goes 4.5
It
acres
goes-
down the
goes
hill to the
It
stream.
goes to Lost Road, then it goes into the farm next door.
It doesn't.
It does. Anyway.
So you have.
That's a
Matt,
second
there-
violation.
Well, and so you have also, I know that, so you also have, in the residential zone, you have outside storage of material and supplies as well?
Yes, there are some pallets and things stored back there, behind the building.
Did something change that triggered the violation since you'd been operating for so many years prior?
Yeah, there was a complaint made by one of my neighbors.
That'll do it. Okay, so I think we have an idea that you're you're in a residential zone, R80 zone, essentially, that you're using the residential home as an office, and you're using the detached building as material storage, employee parking, rear storage of material, you're here for a bifurcated use variance. So you're not here for site plan approval yet,
Correct.
right? So it is your burden to show us that why this site is particularly suited in a residential zone to be used as a 100% commercial lot. That's your job.
So the basic gist of it is that it's a 8,000 square foot accessory structure with a full concrete floor. Its back door is 170 feet from the closest house, the next closest house. It is on a county highway for access. There is a second access point off Lost Road, but the Lost Road access point we've closed off. I think the layout of the property and the use of that building, the alternative to using it as some sort of large storage is really non-existent. It's not tall enough for a horse barn, and it's a ideal building for using as some sort of storage facility. The house itself, there's no inherent quality, it has no inherent quality that, for being office space for 3 people, but it also doesn't detract from the neighborhood or, affect the neighborhood in any way. There are no signs up, there are no evidence of the house being a business. There's just 3 cars parked there every day. As a matter of fact, most of the neighbors, when I sent out my notification, didn't know that it was a business.
But it did affect at least one neighbor.
Yeah, one neighbor who was very concerned about a lot of things related to me. But yes, there was one neighbor who was concerned. And the things that were on the list of in that complaint were, I'm sorry, it's here somewhere.
It says your work starts at 6 a.m., before 6 a.m.
Yeah, it was but we don't work on site. Our site work is, occasionally we will do a cleanup day, just to get the.
I know, but it says noise of trucks starting up in the morning, before 6.
That was the complaint?
Correct, right.
And you've testified trucks show up on site at sunup.
Yeah, I'm not saying that's wrong. We do start vehicles at 6 o'clock in the morning, 170 feet from the closest neighbor.
How often you get material delivered?
We deliver primarily to our job sites, but in today's world, we get Amazon deliveries and all sorts of other stuff brought to the house.
But what about the pallets?
The pallets are brought back on our vehicles because we can't recycle it. We recycle them. We send them to a recycling place.
Do you get any large-scale delivery of materials to the site?
We don't get any large-scale delivery. We do get an occasional box truck or something like that if we get a pallet of something, a pallet, something that's on a pallet.
Are tractor trailers coming?
Very, very rarely, but occasionally
They have.
we do get them. We could potentially stop that and make it a residential delivery, mark our deliveries residential.
There's really 100% commercial use on this property, so.
Oh, absolutely,
Mhm.
yeah.
Did it appear like the welder, I'm just gonna call him the welder, had been using the site in a similar manner? Or when you purchased the house, did it appear as it had already been converted to an office?
The house itself was very strange. It was occupied by one guy living in the basement room. So I don't really know what they were doing with the rest of the house.
And when you bought the house, did you get a CO for the house?
Yeah.
Okay, and the CO is for single-family residency?
Yeah, and we were already moved in at the time.
So did you, at some point, did you live there?
No, we were already moved in as an office when we.
So you got a CO for single-family, but went right to business?
yeah, like I said, we already had our desks in when we got the CO.
Yeah, so the listing itself for that house at the time in which he purchased it, the comment in there is that there is an 8,500 square foot pole barn on the property for a car enthusiast, contractor, farmer, or landscaper. So it's giving the impression that that would be something that would be, but you're not allowed to do that.
Right,
So ethically, since I just took my ethics course.
So you took your ethics
I took my
class?
ethics course.
Okay. Yeah,
That was,
it was implied,
it was misleading
but it's
by the-
misleading,
by
greatly
the-
misleading.
But it wasn't misleading from the municipality's end,
Correct.
No.
which gave you a CO for residential use and then denied your
Correct.
commercial use. That's what I'm always concerned by, is what the official government record show.
No.
Thank you, Lisa, appreciate that, 'cause that was my next thing, was to look up the listing to see what it was,
Yeah.
but,
Seems pretty cut and dry here.
No, there's.
So-
yeah.
So I guess it strikes me, I believe, if I'm reading it right, that one of the tests is, would the owner suffer undue hardship if compelled to use the property in conformance?
That's not one of the standards.
Well, I'm sorry?
That's not a standard. It's not a hard,
It's not a hard standard, maybe.
But the
it's-
standard is, you have to show an enhanced burden of proof, because you're using a use that's not permitted in the zone. That somehow the general welfare, municipal land use law is promoted by you using the property as a commercial use as compared to a residential use. The enhanced burden is that this site is particularly suited for a commercial use rather than a residential use. Now, in your case, you provided some testimony regarding this 8,000 square foot building that probably can't be used for something else, so it's a good commercial use. However, you're using the house as a commercial use also, so you need use variance for that as well. So you have to testify why this residential home, and essentially the whole site should be commercial as compared to residential. That something specific about a site that has a house and a detached garage should be used commercial when it's zoned residential. Then you have to show that that use that you're proposing on it, which you're using it as, won't have a substantial negative impact to the surrounding owners, adjacent owners, master plans, or the zoning ordinances.
So would I be allowed to, if I move the residence out of the office out of the house, would I be able to come back with just for the 8,000 square foot building separately?
Well, you're here for both right now.
I know, but would I be able to separate it and give up the house? Because it seems like that's
It's
a
still
bigger issue.
essentially a commercial
commercial.
business.
Yeah.
That's the biggest
Still
issue.
commercial.
And the other one is deemed as rural, so it's not.
Well, the other one's in the R8, is in R8.
Why don't you describe what the surrounding properties' uses are? Are you consistent with the surrounding properties? Are they residential, are they commercial? Are you the outlying residential property within a whole commercial strip? Why don't you tell you what's to the left, to the right, across the street, and behind your property?
So, 2 houses down across the street is a dental office. To one side of me, on the same side of the street, is a horse farm that's a commercial horse farm, a boarding facility. On the other side is a breeding facility, a horse farm that's a breeding facility and training facility. And then, I guess, 2 houses across the street.
Danielle, do we have an overall aerial of the property with the adjacent?
There's one in my memo, yeah, it's got the zoning imposed over it, but you can see
So-
the aerial below it.
Pass this around, it shows
Oh yeah,
what's-
Matt has it printed out.
Matt, you're holding out on us with the good copies there. I didn't get that.
I was waiting for the bidding. See, like houses across the street, farms on both sides.
Yeah, it's a farm business on either side, and houses across the street. I guess where I was going with that earlier was that I thought that So there is no positive criteria that says the owner would suffer undue hardship if,
Not for use variance.
not for a use variance?
McKinley?
Right, I apologize, there was a typo in my memo. Usually for use variances, applicants will bring planners because there's a lot of case law that is involved in use variance testimony. But you need to prove that there are special reasons exist, what Greg was saying. I apologize for the confusion because that was left over from a C variance testimony language, but you need to prove the site is suitable, particularly suitable for your use. There's no detriment to the public around you, and that special reasons exist for granting the variance.
Okay, so it was, so it was, I did not make it up in my head, it came from the
Right,
letter.
it was a leftover text from a C variance criteria, but it's not associated with use variance.
Okay, so I guess that I would ask that I perhaps get a chance to go back to a planner and ask a planner's advice if the letter that I got was not correct, and I prepared for something that isn't correct.
From my perspective, in my opinion, even if you come back with a planner, it's still not gonna change the use. It's still gonna be a commercial use on a residential property.
But isn't that what the variance is for?
Well, it's not permitted.
No, I know, but that's what a variance is for I'm asking for a non-conforming use.
I don't think you're bifurcated use.
Or bifurcated use.
Yeah, you're
but-
looking at use. So, I just want to say a couple of words. You testified through some of your communications and maybe on the record verbally that you and your family have been in town for a long time. Is that correct?
Yes, about 50 years.
So you kind of understand, the landscape in Millstone and that it's primarily a residential community on the interior. I feel similar to the sentiment that the chairman has here. We go down a slippery slope when we allow commercial uses in a residential zone. Most of us go into business zones to work during the day, and we come home and we go to residential zones to live, and we kind of like it there, and we like the peace and quiet, and we should be able to have full use and enjoyment of our homes. I've been on the board for a long time, and I've granted some variances and we've denied some variances. Just because one comes here with a variance request doesn't mean that it's granted. This particular use is like full commercial use in a residential zone, and that for me is just going down the slippery slope, because like the attorney said, that if you're going to say that one property, if a property has a residential home on it and a large building that was once, and you could put large buildings on your property now, but you can't use them for commercial use if they're in a residential zone. So, it's kind of and the positive and negative criteria, I just don't see how this promotes the use of this, promotes the zone, and I think that it definitely impairs the intent of the zone plan. The zoning in this town specifically designates areas for commercial uses and business uses and other areas for residential uses, and we try to do what we can here to keep them separated so that the residents here can get the full use and enjoyment out of their homes, and the businesses get to thrive in the zones that they have, that they operate out of. So, anyway, that's some thought of mine on the record here.
I think that the amount of time I've been in town is perhaps what led me to accept the advice that you could lay low in town. There are 2 other electrical contractors within a half a mile of me. both parking their trucks in visibly, within easy sight of the road. There are at least 2 other electrical contractors in town not on Sweetman's Lane. Millstone has been a community of contractors for ever since I can remember. One of the reasons why people come out here is because, or have come out here in the past, is because of that. There are countless contractors around town, and the township looks the other way, and perhaps that's my foolishness, believing that it was a plan looking the other way rather than, I don't know. But they still look the other way constantly, as you drive down the
Until you get
road.
the violation, then that's when it becomes the issue.
Until you,
essentially.
get a neighbor that
Contractor
speaks up.
could live in a house
gonna
and
say,
run his
yeah.
business, he could have his own truck there.
Because
But
there
not
is-
bring 4 employees and
Yeah.
8,000 square foot of
Right, so-
storage,
Home occupations are definitely
pave a
permitted.
parking lot, all this stuff you've done, it's just, I don't see it.
Not use it as a residence at all.
Yeah.
It's not used as a
So
residence
if-
at
but-
all.
Not at all.
But if I was, so if I put my daughter in the house, would that make a difference to you guys?
If you put your daughter in the house
And it was her
and not
business.
had a warehouse of
No,
stuff
I'm
in
saying
8,000
if,
square
to
foot.
run my business, to your
Still
point
cannot
of.
have 3
accessory structure.
employees and.
You can have 1 employee
One
by-
employee.
and 500
so-
square foot of the building.
So you
500
drive down Millstone, or drive down Sweetman's Lane, within a half a mile of me, there are 3 trucks in a
Well, then
driveway.
you should report them.
We'll send the code enforcement.
I don't, it's.
No, but you
it's-
have code
It's
enforcement.
not a turning a blind eye. It's Millstone's a big town. There's 1 code enforcer. He is working full-time.
Split duty.
Yeah, split duty. So he is out there constantly.
And by the way, what somebody else doesn't
I
give
get
you,
that.
doesn't give
I
you
get
the
that.
right to do it. And
No,
secondarily,
it sets precedent, but
it doesn't set precedent, absolutely it doesn't.
Every application
If
is
someone
different.
commits a crime, that doesn't mean, oh, someone else did it, I could commit a crime too. That argument does not hold any weight. Now, when you talk about buying this property, when you bought this property, you talk about that area, you installed the driveway, am I correct? When you bought that property, or your wife bought that property, you installed the driveway around the 8,000 square foot building to provide truck access to that. It wasn't there when you bought it, correct?
the driveway was there, it wasn't paved all the way. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't
No,
gravel
there
all the
was
way.
no, the 2019 survey doesn't show any driveway or anything around that
There
building.
was a,
It's your survey,
You just-
2019.
there was a path to it. I don't know what to tell you.
There was a driveway to the house, that's it. You widened it, another driveway going back to the, I compared it to your survey from 2019, so.
The other issue I also look at is, let's just say, fast forward 10 years from now, and this was an approved commercial business in a residential zone. What commercial business is gonna come in after it that's gonna be worse than your electrical contracting business? So, because an approval is gonna run with that in perpetuity.
Well, your approval could be restricted, though.
You could put some deed restrictions on it, but it's still not gonna get rid of the fact that we're converting a residential property to a commercial zone. Which, I don't know, that's kind of borderline planning board in my opinion, but,
No, it would be us.
yeah.
You mean, Mr. Chairman, though, if the planning board through a master plan re-exam determined that they wanted to rezone this property to a commercial?
Correct. Thank you.
True.
So,
So I don't know, it goes back to this question about the planner.
No, listen,
I don't,
I
I agree with Pat, I don't know if a planner's gonna make a difference here.
look at the positive side, your business is thriving, you got plenty of employees, I mean, it's a nice thing to have that issue, but now you gotta potentially,
Lots of business doesn't mean high profit margins.
no, trust me, I know that.
And the alternative is building a commercial building on the other side of town, on a neighborhood commercial lot, in the middle of 4 houses that are gonna complain to you just as much, if not worse.
Plenty of warehouse space on 33 that's for rent.
not in this size range, unfortunately.
But also
Yeah, I
the
wish there,
the difference of moving to a highway or neighborhood commercial zone is that it's commercial.
No, yeah, I get it,
So residents
but-
who live there don't have as much standing to be upset about it because it would be a permitted use. So you're always gonna get people who complain because that's just how things are, but it would be permitted, which is much more favorable than not permitted, so.
Okay.
And you know, you really only had to notify people within 200 feet in the millstone. That's not too many. If there was a lot of other people around me that knew that this application was here, there might be more people here. And, you know, an objection or have great interest in it to find out what the outcome could be.
But we don't decide cases based on whether people object or not. We have a higher burden, and we're supposed to protect the residents of Millstone. And some people don't come out because they want to be good neighbors and don't want to stand there and testify against your neighbors. That's not a weight to carry. It's our job to look at the law.
Right.
It is, from my perspective, you have a heavy burden to prove here, especially now that you testified that the whole property is being used as commercial use, including the home. That it's not even being used as a residence. That is a heavy burden to prove. And I understand that there was some confusion with the typographical error, and if, you know, you feel that you've been sent down the wrong road by mistake, nothing intentional, of course, and feel that way, and you brought it out that, you know, I thought this was the burden and identified from, I get that. I personally, if the applicant wants to get a planner and bring it back next month, I don't think 1 month he's been working there for 5 years.
I would like to talk to one at least,
And we carry it for 1 month, let him get the planner if he wants to spend the money on it, and let the planner talk to you. Maybe the planner will shed different light on it than we have. But I never like telling residents, you read it wrong, tough, here's your decision. That's not fair, you know. You know, while we can be very strict with the law and make decisions in the appropriate law, sometimes we don't always have to beat people over the head. But at some point, to be reasonable, if you really believe that you did not understand what the burden of proof was, and that you really want to get a planner.
2 pages of notes around. I mean, I'm sorry.
So, I mean, that's up to the board. But, you know, 1 more month is not giving me anything. Wants to bring a planner in. You have I think these are your witnesses?
No, we're neighbors.
No, they're-
I'm the complaining neighbor, I'm directly affected by it.
Okay, so why don't we do this?
You can swear me in, I have supporting
Hold-
documentation.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on, why don't we do this? Mr. Chair, do you have any other witnesses?
No.
Okay. Why don't we open it to the public? They've been very nice to sit here for 9:30. We'll get him.
And multiple meetings.
Right, so why don't we do that and then we can make a
Yeah,
decision towards the end.
Okay, fair
Okay?
enough.
For some reason, I thought you were the employee, so I apologize.
Yeah, I kind of made that same assumption, and I'll apologize as well.
That's why I thought you were the
We're
witness.
getting good at this, we've been here a lot.
Yes. We try to expedite things, so at this point at
I'm ready to.
9:32.
I've learned a lot being here.
At 9:32, we will open it to the public. So, would the first person from the public like to step on up? Come on down.
All right, ma'am, and for anyone else that's gonna come testify, I'll do the same speech. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear affirm the following testimony about to give the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please state your name for the record, spelling your last name, and give us your address, ma'am.
Jacqueline Hunderfund, HUNDERTPFUND,
Okay.
323 Sweetman's Lane.
And if you're looking at the subject property from the street, where do you live, so the board has
I'm
an
right
idea?
here on the left, I'm the horse farm, Golden Gate Farm.
Okay, there you go, ma'am.
I'm the biggest property owner next to him, the biggest neighbor.
Do it, you can ask questions, or just give a statement, it's up to you.
I don't have any questions. I can just tell you, I am directly affected because he is in my backyard. So he's not in the front of the building, he's not anywhere. He paved a driveway right to the back of the building. He's got an 8-foot fence in the back, and he has stuff over top of the fence. The trucks start anywhere between 5:30 and 6:20 in the morning. I have pictures, I have documentation. I had my mom with me for 2 years. He's woken up my mom. My dogs think someone's breaking in my house. He's got a lot of employees, they're loud. During the drought, they're back there, they smoke. There's a porta potty. There's a 30-yard dumpster that gets dumped weekly from garbage from the job sites. My house shakes. I've lived there for 30 years. The neighbor that lived there before him was Joe Ruggiero. It was owned by Joe Ruggiero Sr. He made prefab concrete in there. Didn't know he was there. He didn't have employees. He welded personally, his personal things. He was a welder on job sites. He was a union worker. So he didn't run a business out of there. He worked for a union. He still works for a big construction company. Never did he work off the property. Most of the property was a dirt bike track, which I'm sure you've all heard because there was a lot of calls about it over the years. A lot of kids started coming in when they found out about it. My son grew up there with Joe Ruggiero's kids. We would get them pizzas and they were on that property all day long. I've never had an issue with a neighbor until this. I tried to be a good neighbor. I met him in the beginning, introduced myself, welcome to the neighborhood. And he said, oh, I'm putting my business in here, but I'm gonna front it as Blueberry Farm for the first year so nobody knows. And I said, you better be careful because it's a farm. There's not a business allowed here. I have a horse business. We don't feed the horses till 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. We're done by 2, 3 o'clock. We're not out there at night. We don't make noise. They're horses. So occasionally they get loose, but we kept them. So it is really hard to be next to a commercial neighbor. He's got a lot of junk back there. He's got pallets sky high. I know you've seen the aerial views. I have a tracker on my One Dog's app because he visits his property often now because there's so much wildlife over there now. He just had a fox that lives in his shed that just had babies. So his baby fox, he probably doesn't even know because he doesn't live there. But my dogs are chasing chipmunks because there's so much activity and they wander over there now because nobody inhabits the place. There's nobody there on weekends. He didn't cut the grass for 2 years. And New Year's Day, about 3 years ago, he was mowing the lawn. And my mom said, who mows their lawn on New Year's Day? And it was my neighbor because he hadn't mowed it in 2 years. So when I did finally complain about him because he put lights up on the side of the building and they shined in my living room. So I'm watching TV and it was a windy night and the tree leaves were moving. I thought somebody was over there on a loader. I'm thinking, you know, what are they doing? And I watched it, then the next night I realized it was lights. So I very nicely sent him a message and said, can you please put the lights on the back of the building? They're shining in my eyes, when I'm watching TV. I'm 130 feet, my living room's 130 feet from that building, from those lights. His parking area for the employees is 33 feet from my property line. And by the way, when I asked him to just move the lights to face the back and not my living room, he said, plant a tree in front of your window. I said, excuse me, I didn't move out here to plant a tree in front of my window. He said, if you don't want to pay for one, come over here and dig one up and take it and plant it in front of your window so you don't see the light. I said, that wasn't like that. I was trying to be nice and just said, move the light to face this way and not this way. So he's not been the most cooperative neighbor. If I didn't know he was there and didn't hear him, I wouldn't have said a word. But I do know he's there, and I can tell you what time he starts, and I have time and date stamped pictures of 5 o'clock in the morning. I have it from my security cameras on the barn, you know, in case anybody ever came in at night. His lights triggered the cameras and took a shot because it's 800 or 1,200 feet long building, and it's a warehouse. So I have the lights on there. The lights are on all the time. And a lot of times he leaves them on. They were on all last weekend. And there's nobody living there. And the people that are there working, they don't care about the property. During the drought, they're flicking cigarettes. I'm worried now about a forest fire coming across on my property and burning my barn down. There's no smoking signs posted. If you go back there, I've gone there a few times. He's taken pictures of me to go get my dogs, and he screams at me, but he won't let me get the dogs. And one day my dog came back limping. Why, I don't know, and we won't go there. But it's just not a good situation. It's not been a good situation for 5 years. It took probably 2.5, almost 3 years before I complained because I tried to work it out with him, tried to bring it to his attention. And when I told him about all the noise and the disruptions, he said, I don't have any employees. I said, well, who drives all these trucks? I don't have employees, we just park trucks there. And then when he submitted the plans, he put a whole employee parking lot. Well, are those for the employees that you don't have? And the parking lot is 33 feet. I have all the dimensions on here. From the Measure My Yard, I printed them out. It's 33 feet from my property line. So he hasn't followed setbacks. He's followed no rules. There's a porta potty that gets emptied every week. It's disgusting. I mean, do you think I want to sit in my backyard and hear people in and out of a porta potty and hear all these guys talking? Like, in my backyard. So I don't approve. If you grant them permission, I just ask that you make them go to the front of the building and not my backyard, and then the rest of my neighbors won't get to see it all.
Did you ever complain to him about paving the parking lot back there?
His parking lot doesn't affect me in any way.
It's going towards your house.
It's not going towards my house. It's parallel to my
It's not.
property,
To your
and you can
farm.
see it on the
All right.
diagram. It's parallel to my property. I know where you're going with
I
this.
know,
It's parallel.
like that.
It's parallel. My water problem is from the front of the property, not his property. But it's okay.
Gotta ask. We gotta ask to
Absolutely.
make sure.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I'll clarify whatever you need. So do you have any other questions?
do
Would you
not.
like
I-
any of these pictures?
Everything you testified, ma'am, we don't need your pictures.
Okay.
He affirmed that he has people there 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, so there's no reason to.
Yeah, and they are there on the weekends. They'll come on a Sunday afternoon and they will unload a truck into the dumpster, which makes a lot of noise to get the trucks ready for the morning. He has had tractor trailers in and out of there. He's blocked the road. Tractor trailers have attempted to go down Lost Road. We've run out, me and another neighbor, to stop them because we know they'll get stuck. So we've stopped tractor trailers in the road. I've called him on the phone, he won't answer. I'd have to get another neighbor to call him to let him know. There's a water truck delivery that comes every week and brings all the bottled water, I guess, for the employees for the office. There's box trucks, there's tractor trailers, there's flatbeds, there's dumpster trucks, there's dump trucks. There's every kind of truck imaginable in and out of there.
I have a quick question for you.
Sure.
So when you said you have employees there potentially on the weekends throwing stuff in the dumpster and it makes it real loud, that's spooking the horses as well?
No, the horses, they don't care.
They don't care?
It's
Okay,
just,
good.
we were watching a movie, I think last summer or the summer before, my mom, and her recliner was right next to
Okay.
the chair and the screen. And it was so loud that she couldn't hear the TV because I don't know what kind of material it was, but it's a big dumpster and you can
Right,
hear it
okay.
banging. And my mom had to turn the TV up, and it's a Sunday afternoon. You want to hear birds, horses, dogs, people mowing their grass. You don't want to hear people loading a container. It's just not what you're used to.
And sir, you have a big 30-yard container off of Lost Road, and that's where your garbage trucks comes down Lost Road.
They don't come down Lost Road. We don't have dump trucks coming to our property. And when the garbage pickup is made, it comes through the main driveway.
You're saying that you never had 30-foot?
No, we have the.
You have a 30-yard dumpster on the property?
We do have a 30-yard dumpster.
I represent those types of companies. They take them or dump them. How does this one get off your property?
It comes on that main drive. We have the drive the drive that was that was part of the original design that went out to Lost Road is blocked off. We have it blocked off with a gate.
Because there's an aerial of, you have a gated fence off of Lost Road.
We keep that locked. That's what I'm saying.
Right, but through that is your dumpster, isn't it?
The dumpster is directly behind the building,
It's right next to my back porch off of my backyard.
170 feet
So they come
away.
past this building and around to dump it, but it's literally in my backyard. It's about 130 feet, I would guess.
And you get.
It's 170
It's in a residential
feet.
zone, you're required a permit for those type of dumpsters. You have permits for that?
No, I do not.
And I do have pictures of all the dump trucks. I have pictures of every truck
We
that
got- we
comes in
get
and out, so, in case you're wondering.
Don't throw them out.
I won't, don't worry.
Have you been operating the farm there for the 30 years that you've lived there?
About 25 of them.
It's a very pretty farm.
Thank you. It's a lot of work,
Yeah.
but I enjoy it.
Anybody else? Well, Mrs. Hunderfund?
You did pretty good. Hunderfund, yes.
Hunderfund, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony.
Thank you
Appreciate
very
that.
much. Thank you, everybody.
All right, anybody else want to come up? Come on, you're sitting here long enough, come on down.
How you doing? Sir, please raise your right hand. Do you swear affirm the following testimony about the gives the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Please state your name for the record, spell your last name, sir, and give us your address.
J.R. Bryant, B-R-Y-A-N-T. I'm at 320 Sweetman's Lane, right across the street.
Thank you, sir.
I guess the biggest concern, I'm also an electrical contractor. Our office is up in Woodbridge, though. We had to go through all this in the right way, and
he is right. I barely know he's there. I will give him that. He's closer to Jackie. My biggest concern is, you brought it up before, was 10 years down the road, this approval goes through. What's gonna stop from the next big thing that, you know, maybe he's not a part of, he's sold the property and he's moved on. You guys approve this, and now what can that open Pandora's box to? And that's where my concern is, because I look out my front door, I see his property. I don't care if his grass isn't mowed, I don't care, I just don't wanna see, I've been in Millstone for 35 years. I come here to live, like you said, I go north to work. I don't wanna look across the street and see, you know, some kind of big commercial establishment, and I don't know where this approval, if it does go through, what that entails and what other things would fall under that approval. That's my concern.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Bryant. Appreciate it.
That's fair.
Okay. Anybody else? Come on down.
Ma'am, please raise your right hand. Do you swear affirm the following testimony about to give us the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
You say your name for record, spell your last name, give us your address, please.
Sarah Leineck, Lein, as in Nancy, EEK, 321 Sweetman's.
And you're where subject property?
I'm right behind Jackie's.
Okay,
Horses,
thank you.
yes.
What's your first name, I'm sorry?
Sarah, S-A-R-A. I think, I just want to go against the argument of misguidance possibly in the letter, because when I first heard about this, I went on, looked up the law myself, and I was like, there's no way he's really going to go, because he can't prove he's not going to cause a harm or some sort of disturbance to the neighbors. So it would be very hard for him. So for me to find that in about 10 minutes of my own, just researching our township and what's going on and what it meant for the burden of proof here, he who wants the variance should have done that or more, not just relied on the letter anyway, especially 5, 6 times now that we're coming here. I think, you know, that's one of the greater concerns, the concern of the cigarettes and the drought. We have 38 acres. We have hay farms on our property. That would go up like wildfire. And I came from New York. I then lived in New Brunswick, then lived near Asbury. I love Millstone because it's quiet, and I don't have to worry about commercial around me. And I can breathe fresh air, and I want it to stay that way. But that's pretty much all I have to say. I just think a little research can go a long way, and not just saying I'm relying on a letter.
Is it possible for me to ask a question? I don't know how this works.
course, yeah.
What is it you do for a living?
Well, that's not relevant.
Well,
I'm the director of operations for a legal services company. I'm also an attorney in New York that does not practice. But I think anybody with common sense can look up on the internet in their township to know the laws.
Thank you, Mrs. Leineck.
Thank
Did I
you.
say that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's good enough. I'm still getting used to it.
All right, anybody else? Anybody else from the public? No? All right, 9:47, we'll close it to the public. And
It's up to the board what they want to do. I mean, we've heard all the testimony. It's up to you guys what you want to do.
I mean, from my perspective, if we want to allow an extension to bring in a planner, that's, I mean, we
Or at
could.
least talk to one. I mean, I'd like that opportunity.
Now, let me ask a stupid question. He doesn't have to renotice, does he?
No.
Because
Oh,
then we'll
thank
be
God.
5 more
No,
times.
Thank God.
No, it's up to the board. That's what you want to do, we carry to March 26th without further notice. The public has already been testified. They can come if they want, but they've gotten their out of them.
Second question when you're done.
So-
If we do not allow him the opportunity to come back with a planner because of a minor technicality or typo, is that potentially an issue? So are we just better off?
It's, I mean,
crapshoot?
I mean, if we deny this, can he just resubmit and start all over again?
No. No, so
No,
if
'cause he's got 2
if you-
notice of violations.
Yeah, so he is here for a D variance for using the whole property essentially as a commercial site.
Correct.
All right, if the board denies it, the only way he can come back to the board, if he substantially changes the application. Okay? If you tell me, Greg, he's decided to make the house a residence and keep all the commercial access that he wants to do that, I'm not even sure that's substantial. Okay, I mean, what would substantial would be is if the building and all that stuff was not used commercial, and he vacated that but wanted to use the house as commercial. That would be more a substantial change due to the substantial detriment that you've heard testimony about, but I don't see that being practical. You can't just say no and then just reapply, that's not how it works.
Right. Is there anywhere along the way, along his path here, that he was advised to consult with a planner, engineer, attorney, et cetera?
I see some nods.
I'm gonna have to assume yes. I mean,
I believe-
Yes, I know that he was.
We had asked him, but he just didn't want to be here.
I believe the practice for any use variance, the building department recommends professionals be supplied.
All right, so if you want to vote, you can vote.
I say it's either vote or kick the can down the road. I mean,
I
but-
say we
I think we
vote.
should vote.
Yeah, I
I say
think
we
we should
vote.
vote.
I think we should vote.
All right, so we have the application before us. It is for a D1 bifurcated use variance. Just to clarify, because what the application had about a commercial use was that this 8,000 square foot was used as commercial, but we did hear testimony today that the home is also used as a commercial use. So I would surmise that the application is really for the entire site, the single-family home and the commercial building to be used as commercial use in R80/RUP zone. You've heard the testimony of the applicant. I do not advise the board to put any weight that someone told him to be quiet and mindful and Millstone won't do anything about it. That's not factual. That's not something the board should take any weight on. It is the burden of the applicant to prove what I've already put into the record. It's his burden. You've heard his testimony. You've heard the testimony of the wonderful neighbors that have come out here multiple times. If the board deems the application favorable, this is a bifurcated use variance, he'd have to come to the board with a site plan, would be a full drainage, survey, everything else would be subject to that, but it's up to the board. It is a use variance, bifurcated. You could have discussion, Mr. Chair.
Okay, go ahead, Steve. You wanna-
So, no, discussion is the same thing that I said before. You know, the property is not particularly suited. It doesn't advance the zone plan. It doesn't serve the public good. I don't think that he would suffer a hardship. I mean, he's got a thriving business. He should be able to go somewhere and survive in a business environment. You know, it's a detriment to our zone plan. It's, you know, it has a negative impact on the neighbors. And it's not a permitted use. So, you know, that's where I'm at with it. If anybody else wants to comment, I mean, I'm ready to make a motion, but I'll wait for everybody to comment.
Yeah,
No more comment from
I
me.
concur.
Thank you, Steve. I don't have anything else to add. I think you've summarized it pretty well. I mean, that's,
So I'll make a motion to deny the application as it's been
I'll
proposed.
second.
all right.
Any further discussion?
No, roll call.
Chairman Boston?
No.
Wait, wait.
No, yes,
Oh,
yes,
yes.
yes to
A
deny.
yes,
to
a
the no.
yes is to deny.
Yes
A
to
yes to deny, sorry. I got wrapped up for a
That's
moment.
confusing.
Clarify that.
So
All
how
right,
do
so
we call
please
your name
clarify again
first?
for everyone. A
Vote
yes?
for a yes would be to
Deny.
advance the motion for the
Denial.
Denial.
of the
Thank you.
application of the bifurcated use variance application. Let's
Okay.
start that again. Chairman Boston?
Yes.
Ms. Arpaia?
Yes.
Mr. Cadigan?
Yes.
Mr. Lambros?
Yes.
Mr. Sinai?
Yes.
Okay, application is denied. I'll have a resolution for the next meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Lickman, appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, the application is denied for the next meeting.
No, we don't need to go to the next meeting.
Right, so,
Yes, I'll have a resolution for the next meeting, but no one has to come for that.
Thank you, Steve. Well said.
oh, you're welcome.
Thank you, everyone.
It's easy to do the right thing.
Thank you for your time and your patience. All right, it is,
Motion to adjourn?
any old business, new business, motion to adjourn, 9:54?
I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn, everyone aye in favor? Good.
There is a community cleanup coming up. I will send everybody out a flyer, I promise, the environmental commission.
Busy.
Got it already.